So say that I'm not saying I wasn't doing no videos, boy. God show you otherwise, right? Okay, now this video is for my mama, y'all. Now I told y'all, well, she ain't a mom. She's just a womb holder. You know, you got your sperm donor. She was a womb donor. Okay. So I had been spending time, really trying to contemplate on why this lady never loved me, anything like that. Was it me? Really had me second guessing and questioning, why would you abandon me? Why would you kidnap us, leave us in an abandoned house to kill me, like leave me malnutrition and everything, y'all? I was 6 years old. I'll never forget that. She had my brother to kidnap us through the graveyard, uh, Providence graveyard off of Alline Highway in Metairie, Louisiana, right? You talking about, oh, I love my kids. You don't let me see my kids, for you to leave us because you was with a man. This lady was real life SMing us for a man, like using us for SM. Yo, I done been through hell, okay? Hell. One time she set me in City Park. I think I was 3 years old. I don't know why my grandma and them used to let her take us. Set me in the middle of City Park and was letting, she was so drunk out there, and she letting all these men touch and feel on us for money. Anyway, Johnson, Terry Johnson, or J-Lo, whatever you name you using to watch me. I know you watching me. I also saw you in my dreams. I know you going to this witch doctor in on Bourbon somewhere in the quarters or whatever. But yeah, I had this really bad nosebleed like a few weeks back, right? It was from Terry Lynn Piper Johnson, who she took my stones, bought me some stones, right? Cause she watched me, and she heard me saying like the different stones that I want. She bring them to me, right? You know the apple, the story of Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, but the stepmama with the apple, right? Now in this case, I'm dealing with a stepmama and a mama that act like the damn stepmama, along with some other steps in my life. Okay, but I could see her in a dream state, like watching me, but praying against everything that I'm trying to achieve, and asking the gods and the goddesses to give her, demanding my power. Like, wait, what? That'll never happen. You can't, now that you can't steal. You have to be born with it. But it's a hematite stress thumb stone, and there's some other stones that she had bought me, a serpentine and two other stones. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, this day my nose started bleeding, right? My nose started bleeding real bad. We was uptown on Claiborne. I was going to the new Roberts. Roberts is a store, it used to be Schwagman's, right? I like how they fish and all that, they seafood and all that. It's good. Okay? Catfish, right? Orange tiger catfish, the clean catfish, not the unclean catfish, because they do have a clean catfish. It's the tiger, that don't be in shallow water and all that. Like, it's hard to explain. But anyway, you got to be a Louisianian to understand what I'm saying. But anyway, these particular stones that she bought me, my nose started bleeding at the bus stop. Now, I haven't had a nosebleed in a while. And when my nose bleeding, my telekinesis is going off. You heard me? Somebody playing in my energy, and somebody deserve karma. So, these stones, you could tell it was bad juju on these stones. I get the Roberts, right? God say throw the stones. Because I'm like, since I put these stones on, the energy is all the way off. And my nose is bleeding. So we get the Roberts, me and my son. And I tell my son, I say, throw them stones. When he threw the stone, through the stone. When he threw the stones, all you heard was a loud thunder and like fire crackling. Bow! Shit just started like happening. We in Roberts, it started storming. It's a storm. Because I threw that energy out. And it made it rain. It made it storm. It rained. We was stuck at Roberts for about an hour and a half because that's how bad it rained and it stormed. I'm sitting there talking to God in the midst of the storm. He said, Trinell, well, my dad called me Trinity. He said, Trent, you know your mama did that, right? I'm like, yeah. I said, because my nose ain't bled. Daddy, my nose was Daddy, Abba, Aladumari, Polyon. But, man, him having a conversation, I'm like, Daddy, because that is my daddy. Like, y'all, that's y'all adopted dad, but that is my daddy on earth and in heaven. But I'm telling him, he said that was your mama. He said, Trent, don't worry. Just take that energy and alchemize it. So we ate some fruit. As the storm clearing up, we ate some fruit. So always got to give back. Alchemy, realize meaning. Give back to the homeless. Give nice compliments out. Whatever energy that she put on them stones, prayed in, confirmation. I alchemized that shit and gave it back to the universe. What you not gonna do is this is what I didn't understand about my daddy. How you came to this world and all you was attracted to was demons. I get it. Demons attract God. The demons are attracted to gods and goddesses. We get that. The empaths, Hokas are gods and goddesses. And the demons are attracted to our light. But you married this woman and made children with this woman. Then the step. All the women that came behind it acted like my mama. I used to be wanting to fight this man. Looking at him like, is you out your mind? Like every woman you bring to us is jealous of me. I ain't understanding that. But my daddy was like, Trent, just take it. Because we talk in the spiritual realm, right? Hermes, right? If y'all want to know what I'm dealing with, go watch The Light Bearer. What is that? Percy Jackson. You call me Percy Jackson. But anyway, he like Trent, alchemize it. So we was on the 2-lane bus, and the man, this how hard it rained. He couldn't even pick up the people because it had flooded real bad. But it was also to wash that energy out. That's why my dad made it rain. God presided. He made water come down to flush that energy out, so it can return back to the universe or return back to sender. I say, y'all don't know what I be dealing with. A lot of times I be angry, and I be angry because a lot of people that watch me, y'all do have a clue. Y'all got to know what I'm dealing with because y'all dealing with it also. But then you got people judging me and watching me and calling me this, that, and the third. And you don't realize I was dealt a dirty hand, not only for the Vatican, but being the Holy Trinity, being the Trinity God, being the Father, the Mother, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in one being. And then playing on my top, but also them taking my family, because my grandma put a gun to the preacher head for him touching and kissing on us and shit inappropriately at that. But it was just in my family also for land and property and all this and that. But the number one demon, the number one enemy in my life, in my whole entire life, is my own mother. You know how hard that is to receive every day that you don't have a mom, you have an enemy. Y'all have y'all stories, but this lady will only come to make my life a living hell. She would seduce my dad in order and do something to me, and then turn tell him to beat her. You know what I'm saying? Over stupid shit, and he'll do it. That's why God, he got a lot of making up to do to me. I don't know about y'all, but this is personal between me and God. You understand what I'm saying? He got a lot of shit that he got to make up that he did on earth. And since he in heaven, he took his kingdom back. Yeah. I keep telling y'all, I am that chosen daughter because I had to eat shit when there wasn't no shit to eat. You get what I'm saying? Catch on. I had to eat shit off of him and his bitches. No, no, no. Why they say God got 7 wives. Yes. And I had to eat shit off all 7 of them bitches. And now I done became the 7 sisters in one form. And guess what? It has reversed. But I'm not sitting around praying that something happened to them and this, that, and the third. I actually pray for them. Because that's what I'm made of, love. I was made of love, y'all. Asking Rod was my dad. While my dad was on earth, my grandfather and them from up above the kingdom guided me through all the dark shit, including my own father, because he wasn't aware of who he was. Like, he knew he was a god, but he didn't know he was Anubis. He didn't know he was a Baitan. He didn't know he was a Apollyon or an Aladumari, because the church, the Vatican, NASA was using him for dark shit on earth. You understand? But he did get it right before he left the earth. You know, he got in tune with what was going on. But at the same time, and that's only because God Horus, Sky God, Black, Dwayne, Derek, Knox, Jesus had to get him in line. I had to get his ass in line. He kept denying Jesus. And guess what? You deny Jesus, Yahusha, Yahuwah, you ain't getting in your own damn kingdom. And I told my daddy that the only way you going to get in is if you know, stop denying Jesus. You know what he gonna tell me? He told me before he died, he said, Trent, you powerful. You powerful goddess. You powerful. That's the only way that nigga can enter that kingdom. Now, if God had to get permission from me to enter his kingdom, where y'all at in this thing? And that's what I'm trying to get my mama to understand. Baby, you gonna be bound to earth, bound to the rat and the roaches forever and ever and ever. Times forever and ever and ever and ever. Playing with me, your daughter. When you was able to apologize, you came and apologized in order to get close to me, to give me those stones in order to try to kill me. Slap yourself, Terry Lynn Johnson, because you're no longer a Piper or a Gozy. You're a Johnson. You understand? J. Loach, Johnson, Terry, whatever name you trying to watch me under. I see you too, woman. And as bad as I be wanting to put my hands on your ass, I can't. Because that wouldn't be childlike. That wouldn't be godlike for me to whoop my mama ass. But at the same time, my daddy can jump bodies and get your ass. Them angels can jump bodies and get your ass. My rod and my staff gonna take care of you. God bless you. Anybody dealing with this with their own parents? Raise your hand, because that is also what the Bible is about. Being gods coming here lying with demons. And that's exactly what my dad did. And guess what? Confirmation. I did the same damn thing, not knowing that I was a goddess. But I guess that is the circle of life, right? And that's alchemy, alchemizing evil and good and turning it into eternity, right? Into what do you call that? Uh, um, I hear y'all, but I can't say it. Demigod. Yeah, a demigod. But see, they demigods. I'm more than a demigod because my mom is actually a dark goddess. She's a goddess, but she's dark. And she was kicked out. That's also what the Bible was about. She was kicked out. She was denounced from the kingdom, which she was. And why was she denounced? On my behalf. We don't have time for that. How you be jealous of your own child? Explain that. Got a lot of explaining to do, Terry Lynn Piper Johnson. You got a lot of explaining to do. But y'all,